I see BMW and it is made in Germany. My topic today and presentation is about Germany. I have never been there. I want to go there, but I picked a country like the professor had asked, somewhere where I have never been. Kind of fascinated by Germany. I don't know how to speak German. I'm from India, but I wanted to learn a little bit. Never done many presentations, but I think I've learned a lot in the process. Germany is the fourth largest economy by nominal GDP and is largest by PPP. It is a federal parliamentary republic in West Central Europe. It is strategically located in the heart of Europe and bordered by all the following countries. Right over here in this map that I have, kind of shows about Czech Republic, Poland around it, Netherlands, and it is in the heart of Europe. So it's a very strategic location from international business perspective. Some fast facts: it is the most populous and industrialized country. It was one of the 6 founding nations in the European Economic Forum, which European Union when it was developed. It is the birthplace of Bach, which is playing in the background, Ludwig Beethoven, and has given unmatched gifts to classical music. I also have some philosophers down here. Thomas Mann is one of my favorites. And then I am going to talk about business, invitation for business alliance. This was probably one of the reasons we were studying pick the country. Germany is huge in exports. It exports about $98.9 billion and imports $81.5 billion. This chart shows a little bit about why would somebody want to have a business alliance in Germany. Well, this kind of shows about the figures and facts about why somebody would want to do that. Not going in much detail about that. I also want to talk about a little bit about its high-tech and high-quality goods. It is a very technologically innovative country. This chart shows a little bit about how many airports it has, telephone, highways. These figures kind of try to show the success since post-war was built on export industries, even though the economy was hard hit by global crisis, but rebounded by 2010 due to its exports more so than other European Union members. Germany was one of the 6 founding nations in the European Economic Forum, and eventually was a key player. I didn't add a photo, but I wanted to talk about German beer. But it is famous for beer brewing traditions. Beer purity laws dating back to 1516 still are in effect. Going further down, we have top 10. Going further down, I have listed top 10 companies in Germany, which are very familiar names. I had to add number 11, of course, BMW fan. But as we can see, number 1, Volkswagen, Alliance, Porsche, however you pronounce it. These are some of the companies that kind of talk about their own reputation. It's just it's the largest consumer market. It has enormous volume of worldwide trade conducted. It still holds the world's largest trade events such as MEDICA, Hanover Fair, Automechanika, and ITB tourism shows. So it has a very strategic location. It's the like they say in business, location. Germany has it. It has a market strategy. It works on it, and also has the positioning needed. Let's talk about some of the economic facts. Here I have a slide that shows in 2005 the 10-year growth rate and unemployment rate were much worse than that of the US, but now Germany is growing faster than US, and its unemployment rate of 7.6 in August is lower than 9.6 in the US. I also talk a little about German economy. It's the largest in Europe, which I mentioned in my first slide, and has a GDP of $3.2 trillion. Price is not a deterrent versus quality for Germany. I kind of wondered a little bit and wanted to know why it has such recognized names. What did that make this country so successful? I figured out the innovative products, high quality, modern styling. What is it that made it so successful? So I researched a number of sites and watched videos, and I came up with 10 things. First of all, that I found was quality. It wasn't quantity, it was quality. More than 3 to 4 sites and videos that I watched, they talk about apprenticeship, that they hire people when they're pretty young. So they're hired young while they're in school, and then they get apprenticeship. The company pays while they go to college, and they come back and they take management positions. So they are with the companies for a very long time. Okay, so talking about loyalty, so it kind of ties in with the apprenticeship, that people are hired, they work, they learn, they grow in the company, so they're loyal to the company. The work ethic is another thing that I found. People are very much work oriented, and I'm sure we have heard people love to work, but Germans really do like to work. In the economic crisis, I've heard while the companies were laying people off all over the world, they shrunk the work hours and the wages, and people stuck because they thought, it'll be easy to rebound once the economy picked up, which it did. So they kept their skills up, kept their work ethic, and while the economy returned, or so far that I've heard it is coming back, they stuck with the same companies. Expertise, of course, is learned when people are keeping their skills up and stuff, so they have that, have the innovative edge. All of this ties in, but these are the few things that kind of makes up those 10 companies that show why they're, of course, innovative. They don't like an outsourcing. They like keeping their skills in the country. Some of the other things that I am going to continue talking about, another thing that I found was small and medium-sized businesses that make up this most industrialized nation, I should say, in Europe. The small, medium businesses, seen a lot of videos, did a lot of reading on how most of these companies were family-owned, and they were kept in the family generation after generation. Then we talk about R&D, which is a big deal in business growth, reinvestment, and capital. Most of the German firms reinvest in their R&D, and they do so with the own capital that they have instead of relying on outside credit. So they have about 8 to 10% that they reinvest instead of going out. There was a CEO of some company talking about how they don't go out, buy racing cars and jets and spend on lavish things, but instead they reinvest on their research and development so they can get better at these things, making high quality specialized things are the 2 words that I heard over and over again. So these are some of the reasons I found and discovered while visiting sites, and it was pretty clear by the time I was done that Germany was going to carry the burden of carrying Europe on its shoulders during and after the financial meltdown, which is in Europe, it is kind of doing that right now. Another thing that I found was in business, marketing is a huge deal. So in Germany, 80% of German enterprises use direct marketing to sell products. More frequently used are email and internet, making marketing 65%, telephone 35%, and direct mail about 24%. The laws are pretty stringent, but once you know what you are dealing with, it's pretty business-like. Attitudes, from what I learned, were very business-like. They don't want to hear about and talk and chit-chat about your personal life. They just want to get to business, professionally dressed, want to know about business. That's the way how I like to do business too. It's very business-like. From from what I learned from the numbers and from the economic facts and other figures about its how the industry has grown technologically. I also learned that it's exporting to make things cheaper. They didn't want to gain profit right away. They don't think about doing quick profit. They believe in a little less profit, long-term gain. So when the market crashed, instead of workers losing their job, they kept them. They went to a one-to-work weekday. Now that the economy is better, they have more concrete, real quality things that's going on. They're working on their green technology. There are some of the factories that I saw they have that are using green technology. They try to keep the work in the country. So if there's a factory that's going to work on green technology and has solar panels, they're going to not outsources. They're going to give that work to somebody who's a local business owner. So they have the new technology, they have the expertise, they have the general materials. They just try and keep it in the country to keep the cost down and reinvest. Some of the facts are kind of what we're looking for in why to invest in the country, but I also believe that the country's past performance and market positioning plays a huge part in future investments. I read it somewhere, not everyone can be Germany, even though, because the best fact that proved it was 1%. Germany only has 1% of the labor force of the world, but it produces 10% of world exports. Best of all, it has quality versus quantity, unlike some of the well-known countries. And I have to say, I'm kind of not wanting to hear made in China because it's produced in bulk, it's cheap, and it this doesn't make sense. There should be some kind of quality that I look for. I just try to actually avoid buying things which are made in China now. Germany does not promote outsourcing. It assembles its products in its country to try to keep the workforce and skill and try to make and maintain its innovative spirit and keeps it in the family. So it's concrete and authentic. I didn't know what else to talk about in Germany. It kind of, the facts and the numbers kind of lay it down for itself that Germany is a great location. It is, once again, from what I read, is a little bit harder for outside investment firms to go through its regulations and licensing process, but it's kind of getting better. The numbers for credit rating were 23%, ease of credit was 23%, and I think the ease of construction was 4. So it's really easy to go to construction, but I didn't go in detail in all the other industries. GNI per capita, US dollars, was 43,110. All in all, it was great to learn about Germany. Thank you.